Welcome back to another episode of the Jasmine Star Show. I am very happy you're here. I don't know about you, but when I first started my photography business, which was the very first business I ever started in 2006, I had no idea that actually taking photos would be a very small fraction of the work I would be doing in my business. I imagined myself as a photographer, living out very creative days and making art and creatively producing what I would be doing and working with people who got what it was that I did. And let's get real. I was not just a photographer. In order for me to have a photography business, two different things. I didn't want to be a photographer. I needed to have a photography business. I wanted to make money off the thing I was very passionate doing. Two major different points. So in order for me not just to be a photographer, but to also have a photography business, well, I needed to be a bookkeeper, a manager, a visionary, a blogger, a customer service representative, a PR publicist, a graphic designer. Most of all, I needed to become a marketer. If I wanted people talking about my business, well, then I needed to give them a reason to talk about my business. People will not talk about your business for kicks and giggles. If you're not putting out anything interesting, if you're not doing anything new, if you're not reaching out and creating very small micro relations with people who care about what you're doing, they're not going to really talk about it. I needed to find a way to expand beyond my networks and get attention and exposure from others. That's what a marketer thinks like. Well, how do I get into other networks? How do I get attention? How do I get exposure? I had to think of ways that I can get my business in front of other outlets so they would endorse my business. And you need to do that too, whether you like it or not. Like just at the point of this conversation, you're quite honestly asking yourself, is this the thing that I really want to do? Like you see, Jasmine, what I really want to do is bake pies. Great. I love that, friend. Bake that pie. But if you want to be a pie business, you got to embody different roles in that business, even if you don't like it. So let's chat about it. Let's demystify it. Let's have some actionable things that we can do to get this party started. Because what most people don't know is that when you start a business, you have to make the conscious decision to become a marketer. I'm going to say it again because I know people want to overlook that part. When you start a business, you must make the conscious decision to become a marketer. Now, I didn't say that you know how to market, and I didn't say that you grow into being a marketer. No. You become that. Because as much as you love what you do, whether it's painting, copywriting, cooking, photography, business coaching, or anything else, the reality is that without marketing, you won't be able to do it long term and get paid. Without marketing, you won't be able to really do it as a business. That's why you have to make the conscious decision to market and sell your products or services. You need to market your brand in order to get customers. And that involves a lot of work. It involves posting on social media consistently and setting scary goals. It involves writing blogs and creating ads and recording videos. It involves building relationships with your followers, giving more than you get. It involves sending newsletters. I mean, I can go on, but more than anything, at the top of this list that already seems very daunting, marketing involves a lot of rejection and a lot of perceived failure. A lot of marketing involves you getting uncomfortable and constantly learning. A lot of marketing feels like, especially in the beginning, that you're trying to build two businesses. The business that you love, baking cakes, taking photos, being a coach, and then the business of keeping your business alive. Come on. I remember when I started my photography career, and it was about 2 years into my journey. And I'll be the first to admit, I wasn't the best photographer. I wasn't positioning myself as being the best, at least not intentionally. Because what happens is that we use price as a perceived form of value, as a perceived form of distinction. So I start my business and I'm like at the bottom of the barrel, the most affordable photographer. And then I made the decision that the more I learned and the more clients I booked, I would raise my price $100. So for every new client I booked, I raised my prices $100. And then lo and behold, the first year of my business, it took off. A lot of people were saying my name. A lot of people began booking. A lot of people, what? Does this look at the time that I didn't know it then, that the marketing that I was doing, creating personal connections, I didn't have any money. I didn't run ads. I just was putting out content and building relationships with people. And they started spreading my name around, which wanted other people to book with me as a result. So I was raising my prices $100 for every client. And then 2 years into my journey, I was priced like a legitimate photographer. I was going head to head with other prominent photographers growing their businesses. And I'll never forget, in a very, very popular photography forum, there was like this anchor, a true pillar in the photography community, so wildly talented. And he wrote a paragraph about why what I was doing to the industry was wrong and awful. And one of the sentences that he said really, really hurt my feelings. He said, "She isn't a photographer. She's a marketer. If she opened a pizza shop, it'd be successful too." And you're hearing that comment and you're like, and like, obviously. But when I heard it, it felt like the truth, maybe. And I was so trying to run from the truth that my skill at the time perhaps wasn't comparable to the skills of other photographers who were charging similar or even lower prices. And of course, a lot of people were like, yeah, I went to photography school and I won these awards. And here she is not knowing what she's doing. And she's booking these clients and clients don't know what they're booking when they book her. And I was reading all of these things about myself and I was like, I want to be upset. And there was nothing that I could say. So instead, I decided to put my head down and do what I was doing. So much so that I continued raising my prices. And every year I got better. Every year I got a heck of a lot better. I started winning awards for my work. I started getting notoriety. And people were still upset that I wasn't a proper photographer, that I was a marketer with a camera. And what they meant to tear down and what they meant as an insult, now, years later, over a decade later, I look back and I say, and what? I'm a marketer with a camera and I'm a marketer with a pen and I'm a marketer with paper and I'm a marketer with video and I'm a marketer. Why? Because I am in the business of having a business that empowers me to do what I want. And then it was the only thing I wanted to do with my entire life was to hold a camera and make money with that so that I didn't have to click into a cubicle. So if you want to sit there and call me a marketer with a camera, then so be it. And all these years later, where is that photographer now? He was so talented. He was so good. As were many hundreds, maybe thousands of people who were reading this forum, like analytically, artistically, who were so much better than I ever could have been. Actually, they are so much better than I could ever be in the future. And they do not have businesses anymore. They have gone on to do other things or back to their jobs. Why? Because it's a job keeping your business in business. And that's why I always say that building a business isn't for the faint of heart. It's not. It's not. Building a business is for those who are willing to put in the work, get knocked down, and then keep getting back up. It's for those who are willing to put themselves out there because they know that if they aren't talking about their business, no one else will either. If you right now are not talking about your business, then nobody else will. So if you're not doing the work to market your business, if you're not willing to do the work to market your business, please don't start a business. I'm begging you. I actually read this book. It's called 1L by Scott Turow. And this entire book, it was written by a wildly successful lawyer. And his whole book was, if you're reading this and you're not sure you want to go to law school, close the book. Don't go to law school. I finished that book in a day. And at the end of the book, he said, if you X, Y, and Z. And I was like, I am X, Y, and Z. He said, don't go to law school. And what did I do? I went to law school. And you want to know what I did subsequently? I dropped out of law school. He pointed every reason why I would hate being there and why it wasn't fit. But I was like, oh no, I'm going to go because this is what I'm going to do with my life. And he was right. And so the greatest gift that Scott Turow now gave me is when somebody is calling you out and you know it's your truth with a capital T, listen. If you are not willing to market your business, please don't start a business because it will make you feel like a failure and you're not. You just need to be fully cognizant of what you're getting into. And I know, y'all know, I am not known for sugarcoating business advice, okay? Like you don't listen to this podcast so that you're wrapped in like a warm blanket and you're eating carbs covered in butter. No, you tune into this podcast and be like, dang, I really can't stand her because she's speaking. I'm either saying something to where if you're marketing your business, you're out here clapping and be like, yeah, you're right, Jasmine, this is what I'm doing. And then if you're listening to this and you're not marketing your business, you're out here being like, I can't stand her. She's just too rough. Okay. I would rather tell you like it is. So I'm not going to apologize for what I'm saying. If you're not willing to become a salesperson, if you're not willing to be interested in building relationships, if you're not willing to respond to comments and direct messages, if you're not willing to get slapped in the face and feel rejected again and again and again, if you're not willing to build a brand, if you're not willing to market your business, please don't start a business. Do not rob your passion of your passion. If you want to bake cakes, if you want to bake pies, if you want to bake cupcakes, then bake them, make them for your friends and family. May they love them and appreciate them and kick you down with a little money on Venmo, but do not start a business without knowing everything that you're getting into. If at the end of this conversation, you're like, I'm ready, I'm willing to do all of these things. And you're like, I'm not sure exactly how though. Like, yeah, I'm feeling amped up. Okay, but what do I do? Listen, over the years, marketing my business has become one of the hardest things and the best things of what I do. I have learned how to market printed goods. I created a magazine and I had to learn how to, and we self-published, we sold, we created everything on our own. I had to learn, how do I sell a physical product? I was learning how to sell myself as a public speaker. That's a different skill set. I learned how to sell courses, in-person workshops, in-person events. Now I am in the process of learning how to market a full-on SaaS tech company. Come on. Okay. It's hard. And it's also a favorite because we get to see the fruits of our labor. I'm passionate about teaching others how to talk about their business without getting overwhelmed. And this is why I keep on coming back to a class that I teach. I teach it live because it works and it really connects a lot of business owners. Tens of thousands of people sign up for this class. And it's like this little cohort of amazingness that is floating through the internet when people show up live and we're there in the chat connecting with each other and people are coming on camera and we're workshopping and we're doing group coaching. It's like the freaking best thing that I could do. It lights me up. The title of this class is How to Create, Plan, and Execute a Month of Social Media Posts in One Day. Yeah, I literally lay out, listen, I know marketing is hard and I know we don't have a lot of time, but what would it look like for you to post every single day in less than 5 minutes a day? Okay, if this sounds like you're like, all right, I'm interested, jasminestar.com/30 days. I think it is an absolutely great place to start or restart if you're feeling overwhelmed. Like we all know you're doing all the things. I get it. All the things. But what would it look like for you to take 45 minutes or an hour? Join us in this conversation. You can come on camera, ask questions. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff. Marketing your business does not have to be uncomfortable. What I want to do is address what is making us uncomfortable and then turning it into a place of power, a place of comfort, a place of strength, and a place of results. Y'all, jasminestar.com/30 days. I'll see you there.